morning. Today we will deal with the problems of water transport. Now you all are aware that what are the problems that Indian shipping faced. Alright. First is inadequacy of tonnage capacity. First is inadequacy of tonnage capacity. This means whatever the wagons we have to carry the goods from one place to another via ship, the tonnage capacity is very less. We cannot carry a huge ton from one place to another. This was the problem. After that, number 2. Alright, Indian shipping also suffers from inadequacy of infrastructure. Inadequacy of infrastructure. Alright. Now in infrastructure, what were the problems? Like ship repair, alright, facilities, dry docking. All these problems were there. Clear? Now maybe ship repair means repairing of ship was not good, facility was not good. Now docking means the dry place. Dry place means where we can bring the ship and after that we can flood that area to take the ship into the water again. This is known as dry docking. Now these facilities were also not there. After that, number 3rd, alright, Indian container fleet. Indian container fleet is negligible. Now this is very important, that whatever fleet we have to carry, fleet means like a truck, like a structure from which we keep the goods and we take from one place to another, that container is negligible. We are not having such a huge fleet that abroad country people, they have in their own ship. That is the problem in our Indian shipping. After that, number 4th one, and stiff competition. Stiff competition from giant international shipping. Now this is very important, that see, just now I said that we don't have tonnage capacity, our infrastructure is not good, our fleets are not capacity of fleet is not so much, and all these things they were having. Who? The international shipping people. So obviously stiff competition was there between them and between us. Clear? Now these are the problems. Many more problems you can find out. This is given in your book. Now come air transport. Air transport. Now air transport is also known as civil aviation. Civil aviation. Now we will see what are the importance of air transport. First importance is fastest means of transport. This you know. Alright, suppose you want to go from Patna airport to New Delhi airport, it will take only 1 hour. Alright, not 1 hour also, I can say 40 minutes, only 40 minutes. But you will see in the, in the card which you will be getting or the ticket which you will be getting, in that it will be mentioned clearly that you will be taking 1 hour 10 minutes or 20 minutes. But when you will be boarding the flight, you will reach to your destination from Patna to New Delhi only in 40-45 minutes. Clear? It is the fastest means of transport, you know, because we can travel from one place to another and we can come back same day. Next is suitable for perishable goods. Now the goods which will perish within few hours or within few days or 1 or 2 days, it is very easy or it is very convenient for us to bring from one place to another and to sell it out in the market. Suppose fish which is coming from Chennai and Kerala, we can bring the fish through this flight mode, and it can come to our area, Jharkhand, also from Chennai within a few hours, and we can sell that fish in our area also. This is known as suitable for perishable goods. Now, the third one, free from geographical hurdles. Now, free from geographical hurdle means now there is no problem of any traffic jam, because you will be not getting any oceans, you will be not getting any rivers, any desert, any forest, any mountains. No obstructions are there. Alright, straight away it will take off from the airport and it will land in the airport. So it is free from all geographical hurdles. Now the fourth one, minimum cost of construction. Yes or no? Minimum cost of construction. Why? Because you need only between two airports, you need only two airport. Alright, where it can take off and where it can land. No need to make any road or to make any, put any tracks, railway tracks. Nothing is required. And because of that, the cost of construction is minimum. Clear? Next one, number fifth one, useful for agriculture. Now, maybe you are thinking how aeroplane will help us in agriculture. Now, we have helicopters. We can spray DDT and all this insecticide, pesticide. We can spray from the aerial. That is known as aerial spray. From the air we can spray, because when we spray from the aerial view, you will not believe that each and every plant gets equal amount of pesticide and herbicides or insecticides. But if we are throwing with our own hand, somewhere it is too much, somewhere it is too less. Because of that, it is useful for agriculture also. Now number 6, last one, strategic importance. Now, how strategic importance? Because aeroplane we are not using only for our communication. Even we are using this one to defend other country also, the foreign nation. If they are attacking us, our Air Force team, with the help of aeroplane, we can defend other country also. This is known as strategic importance. Now, you have in your book in page number 87, the progress. Please go through yourself, because nothing is there when Civil Aviation Department was set up, alright, which flight was the first one to fly in our country. All these dates and everything is given. The full form of International Airport Authority of India given, National Airport Authority of India given. All these things you please go through, you will understand. After that, in page number 88, given present position also, how many aircraft we have, how many means how many tourist people are coming via plane, all these things, all details are given. You please go through. Now, one very important topic which you should know is UDAN. UDAN. What do you mean by UDAN? It is actually, UDAN is a Hindi word, and they have given also the full form. From U is Ude, or D is Desh, A means Aam, and N means Nagarik. Ude Desh ka Aam Nagarik. Alright, this means government decided, or they framed one policy in 2016, so that each and every people of our nation should go via plane. They should fly once, at least in their lifetime, they should fly train. Because in UDAN, in the policy they have kept in 2016, that few seats will be reserved for affordable passengers who can pay fares approximately 2,500 for an hour journey. If 1 hour you are in the flight, means the flight is moving for 1 hour, you will have to pay only 2,500. Clear? And under UDAN, under this उड़े देश का आम नागरिक उड़ान 70 airports are there and 128 routes are connected. This means 128 places you can go via, means connecting the places, and after that 70 airports are there where this is landing. And it says that different planes are there for this one. No, the same plane, you have some facility given or few seats are reserved in the same plane. Clear? This is Ulan. Now come problem of air transport. Problems of air transport in India. Now, what are the problems we are facing in air transport? First, it is a rising operating cost. Now, due to rising operating cost, air transport in India is becoming very costly day by day because operating cost is very high. Even the fuel which we are using is very high costly, is very too costly. Now when it is too costly, obviously who will pay? We we people will have to pay because we are flying aeroplane. Clear? Now second one, aeroplanes are outdated. Outdated planes. Now this is very important. Now in our country it is not safe. Now I cannot say all the planes are like that, but maximum planes they are outdated and it is not safe because anytime it can break, anytime some accident can take place, and because of that outdated planes are there. And this is also one of the problem in our country. And you know our civil aviation is running loss they are running, and because of that many they have withdrawn. They don't want many capitalists. They have withdrawn that we don't want to fly any flight. So you can understand that only Air India is there from the government side, and these problems are coming up, and we'll have to eradicate because people, if they will be afraid to fly, so you will have more loss in airplane. Clear? Next one, number 3, risk of air travel in India are increasing due to crime, terrorism and hijacking. Now this is the many more problems are there. Now this is the problem. Crime is taking place, terrorism is taking, because one or the other people you don't know they are good person or they are also flying, and as the flight will take off from the airport, they can take the flight to different destination and they can hijack the plane. This is also a problem, but not so much, but it is happening sometime. Clear? Now number 4, facilities for training a large number of pilots are lacking. This means lack of pilots are there in our country. You can understand when the pilot will be lacking, who will take off your flight. Now this is the problem, because this is not a bus or a truck or a car that anyone can learn within a few days and they can become the driver. But to become pilot is a huge task, not a huge task. You will have to learn it properly, and it takes a lot of time also. And that is the thing we are lacking here, because the training facilities are not available for the pilots, and if it is available somewhere, it is too costly also. Now the number 5th one. All right. Now Indian air transport in India finds it difficult to compete with the world airlines. All right. Difficult to compete with the world airlines. Just now I said that in Indian airlines we have excess problems. Outdated planes are there, rising operating costs are there, our capita income is very less, and because of that, we people are facing problem with the world airline because they have a per capita income too much. They can invest capital, but we people cannot invest capital so much. And this is the problem we are also facing in our country. Clear? Now come communication. Communications. Now you are aware with this word communication. It comprises of post, telegraph, telecommunication, broadcasting, television information system, means all together known as communication. Now you'll say, sir, post means when we are sending any letter, it is going via post. We are communicating. Telegraph, it was a message sending. Earlier it was there. Today it is outdated. Now it is not in use. Alright, that was also communication. Telecommunication, you know, we are using mobile and all that. Broadcasting, you know, whatever channels we are seeing in the news channel or any sort of channel we are seeing coming under broadcasting, television, information system. Now all these are communicating to us, and because of that it comes under communication. Clear? Now it helps us to bring the buyers and the sellers together and help to accelerate the growth of the economy. Obviously through online shopping. Online shopping means again communicating through messages or through email or through the WhatsApp we are communicating. Now this is helping our India to boost, not only India, entire world to boost up. Why? Because our growth is taking place because of this mobile or because of this technology which we have adopted presently. Clear? Now in communication, the first one is postal services. Now postal services, this is the oldest means of communication in India. You should know that. Alright. Oldest means it was started in 1837. You can understand. Alright, 1837 in India it was started, and the first postal stamp was introduced in 1852. Alright, 1837 they started the postal service, and 1852 they initiated with the first postal stamp, and postal department was set up in 1854. All these dates please remember. In 1854 postal department was set up. After that they started RMS and AMS. RMS means RMS and AMS. RMS means railway mail service, and AMS means air mail service. Clear? Now air mail service, RMS and AMS, what is the benefit? AMS means when you are going, your letter is going to a broad country, they will be following AMS, and if it is in your country only and it should reach very fast, we follow RMS. And they initiated this one in 1907 and 1911. This is 1907 and this is 1911. They have initiated. Clear? And after that, in 50-51, there was approximately 36,094 post offices, and today it is approximately 1,55,516 post offices, and out of that 90% of post offices are in rural area. Remember, because rural people, they don't have so much money to have laptops, palm top, mobile, they don't have so much money, or the phones, landline phones, and because of that 90% of postal department is there in rural area. And you will not believe 6 lakh, more than that, 6 lakh people is working in postal department. You can understand how good it is, because they are giving job to 6 lakh people. Clear? After that, another scheme again is known as QMS. Again they started one, QMS. Now what is QMS? QMS is quick mail service. Quick mail service. Now quick mail service means in 1973 they have initiated this one, and it covers all the important cities of our nation, and they use in this one PIN number. We write PIN. The PIN full form is Postal Index Number. postal index number we are using in this one. Alright, now the telephone service we will start in next class.